Valentine's Day. A day where we celebrate our love for the people around us. For the ones that mean the most to us in our lives. But for some, it may also be a day to curse at. For they have no one to cherish or love dearly. The poor little buggers. But have no fear. Their day is after Valentine's Day, when the candy is on sale. But whether you love or hate Valentine's Day, there is no denying that infamous figure associated with the holiday. One that is the topic of today's video. Cupid, the short and childlike figure poised with a bow and arrow of love. Together, we will learn more about him and some facts that may even surprise you. So let's get ready to be shot with Cupid's arrow of love. Now, just like most of us, Cupid has a mother and a father. His mother being Venus and his father being Mars. And no, I don't mean the planets. Venus and Mars were two major godly figures, as Venus was said to be the mother of Rome, and Mars was said to be the Roman god of war. Now, in Roman mythologies, when Cupid is brought up, his father is often not mentioned, and Cupid is usually only associated with his mother. Now, these two have a very interesting relationship, one that will be brought up later. In Roman mythology, Cupid's name is actually Cupido, and in Latin his name is you could probably guess it if you think hard enough. You're probably right. It's Amor, which translates into love. The god of love, I mean, that makes sense. In most of Greek mythology, Cupid was actually said to be named Eros. Now, I don't mean that to mistake it with the long cylindrical wooden arrows that you shoot from bows. I mean Eros, Eros. Now, in both of these mythologies, Greek and Roman, Cupid is portrayed to be a slender boy with wings. Now, that may seem very specific, but the Romans and the Greeks like to root everything that they have in symbols, so Cupid is often explained like this. He is winged, allegedly, because lovers are flighty and likely to change their minds, and boyish because love is irrational, a very accurate description. In some depictions of Cupid, he is actually shown wearing a suit of armor. Now, this may seem confusing for a god of love, but again, these Romans and Greeks like to use symbolism, so perhaps it's to pay tribute to his god of war father, or to maybe show the metaphorical battle of love and war. Who knows? There's no real definitive answer for this. It's most likely up for you to decide. Another thing to note about Cupid is that while he may be portrayed as callous and mischievous in his matchmaking, most of that was due to his mother. Like I said before, the relationship between the two is very interesting. And his mother was often very devious in telling her son who to match up with. Speaking of his mother, Venus, there's a tale concerning her about a mortal woman named Psyche. It was said that she was so beautiful that Venus grew jealous and charged her son to shoot Psyche with an arrow so she will fall in love with a monster. However, Cupid had grown enamored by her, so instead he shot her so she would fall in love with him. Unfortunately, under the conditions that she would never see his face. Wow. Imagine that. Some sort of unique curse attributed to the gods when they misbehave. How typical. You know, I wish this happened in our world. You know, whenever someone steals a car, Every time they get in the car and try to start it, it never starts. Or they grow a giant horn in their head which slams through the roof of the car and they are stuck there. I think that would stop a lot of crime. I think we should associate some of this curses in our world. Now, of course, later, after much trial and tribulation, Cupid would end up making her his immortal wife at his side. Which is a very happy ending, unlike most stories attributed to the gods. So, despite being portrayed with arrows of love that made others, of course, fall in love, Cupid actually had two different types of arrows, each with either fantastical or devastating effects. If a female was shot with a golden-tipped arrow, then it would cause her to fall in love with the male of Cupid's choice. However, if she was shot with a lead-tipped arrow, it would cause her to want to leave the relationship, to want to be free of said person and start anew. In a tale noted by Roman authors, at one point Cupid actually shot a golden arrow at Apollo, which, if you don't know, is the god of the sun, for him to fall in love with a nymph, Daphne. But later, he shot Daphne with a lead arrow so she would grow repulsed by him. What a mischievous god he is. How come you can't just leave people alone, Cupid, huh? Just leave people alone to their love. Love is already irrational as it is. Oh. And finally, it is also noted that, as a child, Cupid could perhaps feel the after effects of shooting one with a lead-tipped arrow. And he would often have to soothe the effects with honey. That seems to be all that I have for you. I hope you learned something new and maybe have a new appreciation for the oh-so-lovable but mischievous cherub of love. If you are listening to this on Valentine's Day with your loved one, I wish you both everlasting happiness. Hopefully you are both pierced with the arrow of love and bleeding profusely from it. And if you are alone this Valentine's Day, fret not, for one man's love is another man's 50% off Valentine's Day candy, huh? See, Valentine's Day has its perks. Take care.
Hello everyone, this is Liz the T-Rex here. Before I get into any announcements, I want to give Shadow a huge thank you. She is the person that supplies me the artwork for this series. Without her, I would not be able to produce it whatsoever. So the link to her YouTube channel will be down in the description. Be sure to go give her some love, comment on her videos, tell her thank you for helping me out, because again, without her, I would not have this series at all. Another thank you I want to give to is Bardic Insights. This group lends me their voices all the time for this series, as you've seen in past videos, unless you're new. But yes, Bardic Insights is the group that helps me voice the series. Without them, again, this series would not be what it is. So, their Facebook page will be linked in the description below. Be sure to go give them a few thumbs up and stuff. They're a really awesome group. Great group of improv people and comedy and just all kinds of stuff. So go check them out. On to the announcements. So, the shirts for Cupid are up for sale. The link to that will be down below. The link to my shop. We have regular t-shirts, we have v-necks, and we have long sleeves, and we also have stickers now. So, if you would like to buy any of that, buy it while you can. They will be up for sale until September 3rd, and then they will be gone forever. So, buy them while you can. Now, on to the bigger announcements. So, I know I've been gone for a really, really long time, and I do want to apologize for that. What happened was, there was a lot of new content that I want to bring to the channel, but I needed time to organize it and just organize it in a way that I was happy with. But now that it's all organized, we're ready to go again, and I am excited to bring to you all these new series that will be slowly released throughout the following weeks, month, probably. There's a lot to it. Tomorrow there will be a small video explaining one of the series along with the first video of that series that is coming to the channel. And then on Sunday there will be another update video explaining everything that is being brought to the channel. This series, the one involving all of the gods and mythology and stuff like that, that's staying. That's not going anywhere. The only thing that's added now is we have more components of mythology that's being added to the channel. This channel is officially a mythology channel. Mythology, lore, and all that stuff. So if you have any friends, parents, teachers, anybody that likes this, direct them to this channel because we have a lot of new stuff coming out and I'm pretty excited about it. So again, thank you so much for watching this if you stuck around for the announcements. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe to me because again, we have a whole bunch of new content coming out and I am so very excited to give it to you guys. So thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow. Alright, bye!